felt fire in my hand. It lit up my face and those around me. When I came back from the forest, the trees weren't broken. They'd stood the test, but the leaves were fallen. When I came back from the forest, the dove was on the bough against the gold of the sky, and I found some peace and rest.
You don't see many hedges these days, and the hedge you do see are not that thorny. It's a shame. When I say hedge, I'm not talking about a row of twigs between two lines of rusty barbed wire. More likely just a big prairie with the whole cities of hedges not 50 years ago. A big desert more like, and I mean thick hedges, with trees nearby for a bit of shade in a field, not a road, not too far off so you can nip out for an insect or two when you other youngsters feel like a snack. A whole hedgerow system, as it says in the book, and 7 out of 10 sparrows say the same, and that's an underestimate. We want a place you can feel safe in again. We're social animals, we want our social life back. And the sooner the better, because in a good hedge you can always talk things over, make decisions, have a laugh if you want to, sing, even with a voice like mine. Well, hedges themselves have a fantastic ecosystem in there. They also help us define the limits we want to rebel against. Sometimes if you have something that's huge and featureless, you become huge and featureless. It's about what you think yourself, old-fashioned word would be your soul, or what your being is. That changes second to second. It's something you feel you want to protect, but you also know that it's mercurial. It's actually something which changes all the time very rapidly. So ideas of privacy, quietness, gentleness, those are important things, and it's good to have hedges around those things. Motorway and track, motorway and track, motorway. Motorway and track, motorway and track, motorway. Well, this is a poem about coming to the end of one's limits, and it's a kind of psychodrama, and it looks as if the world has been turned upside down. Get out of the car. I told you it would end this way. Get out of the car, the sat-nav's got nothing to say. I wish we could talk, like the road whispers to the wheel. I wish we could talk, like the dream flirts with the real. And many people think it's actually about individual words and special vocabulary, but I'm not so sure it really is. I think it's actually about the structures and melody of language and the patterns and rhythms of that. It's not what's come from me, which is almost certainly, I can tell you, a rather dull place. It's actually what is out there for people who want to read the poems or hear the poems. And that is not a dull place. That is absolutely full of variation and interest, as everyone knows. Silence is a beautiful thing, also. I suppose it's difficult to like empty spaces which are completely empty because you're always in them. So there's a sense of luxury when you're thinking about empty spaces, and the luxury is you're alive in it or thinking about it. So I do like that sense of expansive solitude. What does nature mean to me? Well, I think in the poems sometimes I rather hijack nature and deliberately make animals and other creatures into human-like animals and other creatures. So it's really reflecting back on humanity. In a way, it's the end, the limits of humanity. It's certainly what we came from, and it's what we will disappear into when we disappear. Well, some do say that nothing exists unless you can name it, but I don't really believe that. One of my daughters is very disabled. She can't use the language that we use. She can understand language in a very impaired way. But to say the world does not exist to her is nonsensical. It is absolutely clear it is there and is very, very rich. Life is far, 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 far bigger than language. I'm thinking, I can't imagine how this film will work. It's all a bit of a mystery to me, and I wonder what it'll look like. I suppose I'm a bit shy of my body, and one of the great things about poetry is you don't have to be there. I can't quite square that with how much I like reading my own poetry. I like reading it live, but I don't really like it being recorded. It's a conundrum I don't understand myself.
Don't worry, you look nice.